United didn't get the win against Tottenham Hotspur, and I think we did deserve to get the result. If you look at how bad Spurs were looking back at the game, it was a pretty poor result in the end for Manchester United, and I don't think we did enough to lose. I think United. Listen, Amorim talked about in the game how we could win. We could not win, but we couldn't lose either, and that's something that he talked about in the last two games for Manchester United against Forest and against Tottenham today. And listen, it was always going to be a tough game going to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's never easy, and United have struggled against them quite a bit. But you look at how in the last few games we started to build momentum, build confidence. We've looked like a pretty decent team of late, and I think today against Spurs was another opportunity to get the momentum and get some points. And I think you look at the way that we played, the first half was not good enough, and we got the Mbeumo goal, and it was a good goal by Mbeumo. Great bit of play by Ahmad Cunha in the box, but in the second half it was a very, very poor half by United. I think we didn't start off well. Spurs, we allowed them to get into the game. Listen, Spurs aren't a great team. They've struggled at home, and I think that was something United need to take advantage of. I think one thing that we did get wrong is we were too lethargic in the second half. I just don't think we took the game to Spurs enough. I think we allowed them to have control, which again is a problem. I think when you give a team like that control at home, you're going to always invite them into the game. And I think you look at how Chelsea played against them, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, they were pressing high, they won the ball up high, and that's where they got the goal from. I think another problem is the amount of goals we're conceding. You look at that first goal, I think it's very poor on Ugarte's half. I think he should be doing better from that position. Wilson Oliver just rings round him, really takes the ball past him, then gives it to Doggy. Doggy puts it across, and yes, people could say De Ligt could do better, but I think if you look at De Ligt, I think De Ligt's a player who, again, it's a lucky deflection, but I still thought it was not good enough from Ugarte. And on the second goal, I think Ugarte, listen, he's too slow to react to come out from the corner, and I think that is probably that is a problem as well. And I think you look at our recent history at the Spurs ground, it's not been great. And I think this was another opportunity to get the win. There were a lot of problems that went wrong today, if I'm being honest. And I think that was one. I think defensively we just haven't looked good enough of late. And you look at where Spurs get the goal from, all the goals from, they're just not good enough position, and they're easily preventable. And again, that's something that we need to work on. I think goal scoring wise, we're pretty good. I'm confident Cunha and Mbeumo, Sesko in the attacking department of the team will do very, very well. I think individually, defensively, there has been some good performance. I thought De Ligt was immense today, got a great goal to help us and to get us the point. But you look at the goals we conceded, and I think we've scored 18 in the league and conceded 17. I know we definitely have a one positive +1 goal difference, and that is not good enough. I think the other big teams have a way higher positive goal difference than that, and I think that's a big problem as well. I think Amorim again did get factors right against Spurs. I think the team he probably went with was probably right. I think Maguire bringing in for the physicality, no Sesko, and I think that front three did work. It was interesting to see Mbeumo on the right. But again, obviously, the last 10 minutes doesn't help when Sesko goes down with an injury, and it doesn't look like a good injury for him. But yeah, I thought taking off Casemiro was probably a mistake. I mean, De Ligt talked about how the team was knackered, but listen, I think we're playing one game a week. I think using tiredness as an excuse. I mean, Tottenham played on Wednesday, I think it was, and they looked way more energetic than we did. And we've had a whole week to prepare for this game. So I think using energy as an excuse and tiredness is probably not valid in this case. I think it was a lucky escape by Manchester United. If we would have lost the game, it would have been pretty embarrassing in our half, because we didn't deserve to lose the game. We did have chances to win. I think the chances that we had, again, we weren't clinical enough with. But the one chance that we do get from Mbeumo, he scores. And listen, Mbeumo had that cross where he put it across the box, and there was just no one there anticipating it very early on into the game. There were a few other half chances that we had as well, but yeah, I think one player who did very well was Lemons, and I think he had a bit of a shaky start. Ball goes out of play with the first pass to him, but I think other than that, he had a good game. But there were a few things that went wrong. I don't think we were aggressive enough either. I think what we needed from this game was similar to what we've seen against Brighton, where Luke Shaw, De Ligt, whoever the centre-backs were, which were Luke Shaw and De Ligt, in this case, and Maguire as well. We needed to be more physical, and we needed to take the game to Spurs and not allow them time on the ball. We needed to pressurise them, and I think we definitely could have got joy and press them high up the pitch. And again, we know how Thomas Frank was going to set up the team: be aggressive, be physical, get the fans going. And I think, listen, the boos after the first half showed that Tottenham fans weren't happy with the first half, but the changes massively changed it for them. Tell, Odegaard came on, they had massive impacts, and ultimately had big parts to play in the goal. And obviously, never celebrate too early against Manchester United. I think Richarlison learned that lesson. But again, it was just 2 points dropped. We needed the points. And yeah, it's disappointing to get. It feels like a loss, and I think Forest was more disappointing if I'm being honest. Yeah, but let's see what happens going forward. It was an important point, I would say, but I think we need to do much better, and I think Amorim understands that. He talked about post game how again we showed that resilience and we showed that fight to get the points, but we're still making progress. I mean, it's 5 undefeated. I'll do the 5 things and we can talk about the result and some individuals in a few more details there. But I just wanted to do a video talking about what went wrong.